Ariel, if you'll come up, and if we have any questions for Ariel.
Right, and animatics too.
Right.
Animatics.
You guys will also come up. Actually, just raise your hands. There we go.
This is not a question, but I'd like to say you are an incredible testament to survival, all three of you.
I don't know if you have a contact number for family connection.
Contact number for Family Connection.
Well, go to the website.
Yeah, the website has
Website,
that.
borderlinepersonalitydisorder.com.
BorderlinePersonalityDisorder.com.
NEABPD. Or just type in borderline personality disorder on your toolbar and it'll pop right up.
Are you in Westchester or?
We're in Westchester, we do New York City. We have a lot of people from Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, because we meet on Sunday mornings right over at New York Presbyterian, and there's no traffic, so we get a lot of people who come early. We meet at 11 o'clock on Sunday mornings at New York Presbyterian. But they have to register through Perry because we get all the names really through Perry and through our own therapists. But if anybody comes in, we always say, please register on the Family Connections website. That keeps us, so we know.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
There were some questions from people with BPD and where they were in their treatments. I don't know if any of those people wanted to mention anything. Sorry, there's a question over there.
I'm curious,
I chose to go to school locally so that I could, I'm pretty loud. I chose to go to school locally so that I could have the support of my family and my doctors and all of that. So continue that throughout.
My daughter was diagnosed as bipolar by the age of 4. Sorry. She just wanted to know, are there specific characteristics that differ bipolar from borderline personality? Because the more we listen, the more we think it could be borderline personality and not bipolar.
Yeah, I think in retrospect, our daughter was medicated heavily for bipolar, and she showed signs very, very early. She was a cutter, which is part of being borderline personality disorder. She also made lists and was very OCD about things. She was very impulsive, very promiscuous. She drank a lot. She did every possible drug there was to do. She didn't come home. She lied. I cried too. I cried a lot, and it was very sad. And she's 28 now, and she's only now, she called our DBT voodoo, by the way. She said that's voodoo. And a friend of hers said to her, you need to get some DBT. So she's only now beginning to understand mindfulness, but it's hard. It's hard to know the difference because we didn't know about borderline 15 years ago.
In fact, you can begin to make the distinction quite clearly between borderline personality disorder and bipolar disorder. And just some of the features are that for bipolar disorder, there tends to be a persistent and enduring mood state, so that when people are depressed, they tend to stay depressed for, and the DSM will require 2-week periods, or if they're elevated in affect, they'll tend to stay up there, no need for sleep, very goal-oriented, very grandiose, and all of those sorts of things. The mood dysregulation in borderline personality disorder tends to be a lot more reactive and a lot more interpersonal. So the thing that people with BPD will often describe is how they can be having a really wonderful day and then suddenly someone won't return a call, and all of a sudden they go downhill, or that things are going really bad and then a friend calls and then they're doing well. So there's this constant and ongoing dysregulation, and to live with that, you get thrown around by these sort of emotions, and it's very transactional. Often happening between people. So those are just some of the features. You can also, the DSM describes them a lot more clearly. what Mary and other people have found is that there's actually quite a lot of overlap. So depending on the study, somewhere between 40 and 80% of people with borderline personality disorder also have a co-occurring mood disorder. The other thing is that a lot of the mood dysregulation of borderline personality disorder does not respond to medication. And so what happens is when you have these kids and young people with 3 medications, but they're still very dysregulated because you're treating the wrong thing. So,
Ariel, I wanted to ask you, do you have siblings as well?
Yes, I have 2 younger brothers.
Okay, well, and they're younger, so maybe, I'm not sure how much applied, but I have 2 questions. First of all, how much has your family been involved in sort of this, your process and been an influence, I guess, healthy influence or not, either way? And then my second question is, what of like books and things were helpful that you've read that would help you with some self-realization perhaps, and that you might recommend to other family members, you know, of all the different books that are kind of mentioned?
Right. So the question was twofold. First was, I guess, how should I rephrase it?
Well, how has your family
How has my family contributed positively or
positively
negatively?
either way,
Yeah.
and you know what you have to say about that, and then also of the books, what has personally been helpful for you with self-realization in reading, or that you would offer up to families?
Absolutely. My family has been a mix. You know, I now see in hindsight that they did the best they could, which is hard to see that they did the best they could and were still very, very ineffective in many ways. But when I was first diagnosed, I had an overly codependent relationship with my mom and almost no relationship with my dad, who I really, I just despised him. And through Family Skills Group, my parents really gained so much. I mean, my parents are now so much more skillful than they ever have been. And so I would say now they are extremely supportive. They know what to say and what not to say. And that's not to say that they say the right thing all the time. I certainly do not. But they are a real support to me, absolutely. And in terms of what I've read that's helpful, suggestion from Alec, that was very helpful. I don't remember the author, you probably know. It's Don't Panic, which is a good book, which is about panic. I mean, it's not specific to BPD, but it was very helpful to me. Symptomatic, dealing with symptoms. And I also really, really, really benefited from reading the book I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. I don't know if that's still like a reputable book. I don't know if it's fallen into some kind of disrepute in the community, but for me it was really, really helpful. I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. Yeah.
Thank you.